Yes. This is Tactical Red, your Tactical United, and Man United are playing West Ham tomorrow. Interesting game after the L that we held against PSG because of poor tactics once again. It's always poor tactics. That's all it is. That's all it is, guys. Poor tactics. Like not starting Van der Beek is a poor decision. Not taking off Fred at halftime was a poor decision. And you've watched all these YouTube people talking about, oh, many players play with a yellow card. I'm like, Fred should have been sent off twice. Like, he should have been sent off twice. Yeah? Take him off because you know the ref will see that and look back and say, nah, I'm going to send him off even if he breathes on the player. So, you know, poor decision. We all saw it. West Ham going to be an interesting game, you know. David, what? Do you know what? I haven't watched West Ham this season. I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched one single game they've played. I don't know how I've missed them, but I think I saw bits of that Chelsea game. I think it was 3-2 or 3-3. I can't remember. I haven't watched West Ham, put it like that. So I don't really know what they're saying, but looking at their results, they look like they can cause anyone a threat. They look very defensive. They look very counter-attacking, and they won't create lots of chances, but they will take their chances when they do. So, you know, they're doing well. Obviously, they're fifth, and they've been getting points steadily, and David Moyes has been doing the David Moyes type of thing. Like, this is the battle of the average managers. Like, this is the battle of the average managers. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, we're talking about two men who don't really have any tactics, don't really have, you know, the decent coaches. One is a decent Premier League defensive coach. The other is lucky to have the Man United job because he's got good players to save his ass. So, you know, you got two type of guys. One who can't really attack. One who can't really have. David Moyes can't really have an attacking team, and Ollie can't really cultivate a team that is cohesive, and you can see where the coaching is on the field. So it could be anything. Like, literally anything can happen. It all, you know what it all depends on? It all depends on the players that Ollie selects and the formation that Ollie selects. Because we're the better team. So if we don't win, it's down to us. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not giving no credit to West Ham. Who are they? What players do they have? They got a couple good players like Bowen guy. He's decent, you know. He's decent. I like him. He's decent. He's a threat. He score goals. He's good. He was even good in Championship. I saw him in the Championship. He looks like a good player. Now, since he came to West Ham in January, he's looked very good. Apparently, Antonio is injured. They got that solid midfield, that Czech guy in midfield. You know, they got Noble. I don't think Noble plays for them anymore, to be honest with you. I don't think he even starts for them. So I don't even know who their midfield is. But, you know, they've got attacking players, but they don't really play with their attacking players. They have like a lot of attacking players on the bench. You know, Felipe Anderson and Yarmolenko. And Haller's good, obviously. Haller's a good striker. I liked him. They paid a lot of money for him. Like, paid a lot of money for him. It was overpaid, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of better strikers out there than him. But he's a certain type of like a physical centre forward that could cause us problems. But with Harry Maguire, like, to be honest with you, when it comes to the physical battle or playing against strong strikers, he that's where he lives. That's where he was born and bred, playing against physical strikers. So for Harry Maguire, it probably suits his game. Do you know what I mean? And there's not a lot of those types of strikers in the league nowadays. So I think I just see us just, you know, maybe just getting a win, maybe just getting a draw. I don't know. But Ollie has to come with the correct tactics. That's the thing. Did you see his press conference? I saw his press conference, and it was like, I mean, everything he said is all about hope. Because you see, with Ollie, when he loses a game, he loses confidence because he's not based on anything. He has no foundation. So all of his good vibes and all of his good energy comes from winning games. He has no foundation of coaching, training, understanding the game, man management, team management, game management. You know, so because he has nothing like that. So basically, If he wins, he's confident. If he loses, he's not so confident. And you heard him in the press conference say all the time, oh, hopefully we can get top 4. Hopefully, I see us improving, I don't want to talk about individual... Like, he said we see us improving, but he couldn't actually state how we've improved. He couldn't. He just said, we're playing more consistently. That's what he said. We're playing consistent. We're not getting consistent results, but that's because of fine margins. Now, this quote, fine margins, has come into the game of football. Come into the game of football ever since Ollie started banging on about fine margins last season. It's a fucking excuse. I'm sick of this fine margin talk. It's an excuse. It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. Like, it's like me saying, I knocked someone out. Why did you knock someone out? Because it was a fine margin whether he knocked me out. Like, it's not fine margins. I knocked him out. I took a fucking bottle of wine from Sainsbury's. Why did you take a bottle of wine from Sainsbury's? Because it was a fine margin, whether I was going to take a bottle of wine or not. Ollie says it's a fine margin whether we're winning or losing games. So are you going to say to Klopp, are you going to say, when you won the league last season, it was a fine margin, wasn't it? It wasn't, you won those games due to fine margins, not due to coaching, not due to player selection, not due to motivation. You won them through fine margins. Is that what you're telling me? Like, this fine margin expression, quote, is bollocks. And the whole football world is saying these words. And it's basically a phrase to say it's okay to fuck up. Like, it's a phrase to say it's okay to fuck up because it's fine margins. Like, no, if you get paid for 3 or 5 million, however much you get paid to not have fine margins. I can have fine margins because I'm not a coach. I haven't been coaching for 12 years like you have. If I was not a coach and I just came into the game and I was losing on fine margins, I would correct these fine margins to make sure that I don't lose. But Ollie keeps saying fine margins and doesn't correct them. This is what I'm saying. Where's the people in the press conference saying to him, Ollie, we've been hearing about fine margins for a year now. Like, how long does it take? How long does it work? How long does it work you out to marginalize these fine margins, Ollie? Like, how long? Because you keep making excuses. Like, I guarantee if he don't get top 4, if he loses against PSG, Leipzig, fine margins. He's going to say it's fine margins, Oh, we could have won the PSG game. Oh, we could have, it was unlucky. We could have got this. It's all fine margins with this guy. But these are the times Man United are getting the most penalties in the whole Premier League, in the whole world. In the whole world, Man United are getting the most penalties out here with all these dives and, and we get non-penalties too. Like against the opposition team, they don't get penalties even when VAR is clearly seeing that it's a blatant penalty. So all these fine margins that he's talking about is bollocks. And I think all these decisions that we get, honestly speaking, like there's no evidence, so there's no proof of what I'm about to say. There's nothing to say that there's evidence in it, but it looks very, very suspect. Like, it looks very suspect. It looks like how does Manchester United get away with it time and time again when it comes to VAR? It's suspect. I don't care what anyone tells me. It's suspect. It's very, very suspect. It's more than suspect. It's more than suspect. It's more than suspect for me. Like, it's more than suspect. It's something dodgy. But you can't say anything because you don't know anything. Do you know what I mean? But that press conference was embarrassing. The guy someone said to him, do you think you're going to get top 4? Or like, if we win tomorrow, potentially we could go top 4. Ollie said, yeah, we could. I hope we can. But it's a long season. What? Like, what type of inspiration is that? Like you're supposed to be like, yeah, obviously this is our target. We want to go above top 4, actually, to be honest with you. We want to try and reach above that. But to get there is the first target. Like, he has no targets. His target is to just hope for the best and play the best and hope we do well. And inshallah. That is what his rhetoric is. His rhetoric is just do well, play well, and, have exciting games. Did you hear him against the PSG? Oh, what a game. And it was a good game, no doubt. Good game. Very good game. And sometimes, when you lose, sometimes you can say that. Like, when you lose, sometimes you can say, it's a good game and we lost. But we are talking about knockout fit. We're talking about Champions League football here. We're talking about a lot of money. We're talking about a lot of status. And talking about your reputation and your job on the line. And you're talking about how good the game was. Like, come on, man. If we lose against Leipzig, I'm not watching Europa League football. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching Europa League football. I can't stand it. It's embarrassing. It's below the Premier League. It's below Premier League until you get to like the last 8 or last 4. Like the last 8 and last 4 is probably you're playing a mid-table club, like mid-table to upper table club in the semi-final, and you might get a Champions League team in the final. You might not though. We got Ajax in the final when we won it. They're not a Champions League team. At that time, they wasn't a Champions League team. They was not really doing nothing in Champions League. So, you know, you can play shit teams, a lot of shit teams, a lot of boring games. It's boring. There's no excitement. There's nothing to get excited about. Like, I like games where there's top players. Like, I like that Neymar and Mbappe game. I love that because you know what? You get to see quality. You get to see our players playing against quality, see how they react and respond. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of people are talking about Rashford as top scorer in Champions League. And I'm like, yeah, he is top scorer in Champions League. Well done to him. One of the top scorers anyway. But he's not going to be top scorer at the end of the Champions League. Like, he's not. We're probably not going to win it if Ollie's still there. If Ollie's still there, we won't win it. And there's no doubt about it. If Ollie's still there, we would definitely not win the Champions League. I can put a lot of money on it. A lot. And if I lose, I lose. But I don't care. I would take that risk. Because we're definitely not winning it. Not with Ollie. I think if we had a good manager, we have a chance. I'm not saying we would, but we definitely would have a chance. Because the Champions League this season ain't all that, in my opinion. Like, I don't look at any team in the Champions League and I think, no, I don't want them. I don't want them. Like, I look at probably Barcelona are good. Don't get me wrong. Barcelona, they're still good. Not Real Madrid. I think we could do Real Madrid. I think we can do the way City done Real Madrid last season. I thought, yeah, no, they're not that. PSG can beat us on any given day. Like, PSG can beat us, and if Neymar and Mbappe turn up, we can lose. As simple as that. We can. But I'm not scared of them, obviously. Liverpool, obviously, are a good team. Man City are a good team. Then you're like, Bayern Munich, obviously, are a good team. And then after that, you're not really worried about anyone. You shouldn't be worried about Juventus. I'm sorry. You don't need to worry about Juventus. You don't need to worry about Lazio. You don't need to worry about Sevilla. If you're a real manager, look what Chelsea did to them. You don't need to worry about... You can worry more about Chelsea, if anything. You don't need to worry about, like... there's not a lot of teams. Dortmund... Haaland could do a thing, but Sancho could do a thing. Roos can do a thing. Brandt can do a thing. You know, they've got some good players in there. Not gonna lie, but you just know that they're gonna bottle it. Like, you know what I'm saying. So, nah, man, we could win that if we had a proper manager. But with this West Ham game, I expect to get 3 points in the bag, and if we don't, it's 2 losses in a row for me. Draw's not good enough. Like, then we have Leipzig, then Man City. Oh. It's peak out here. It's peak for Ollie out here. Like, pressure's on. Like, you know, with Ollie though, when the pressure's on, like when you expect him to lose, he wins, and when you expect him to win, he loses. So, you know, you just one day there's gonna be a day when it all gonna swing the way it should swing. Like, you can't be in luck forever. I know he has good intentions for Man United. I know he wants us to do well. But his level of management and his level of ambition is subpar. He has no ambition. Like, even talking about top 4, he gets nervous. I can tell. He gets nervous talking about top 4. Because it's like, oh God, if I talk about it too much, like, he plays so much mental mind games with the press and with the fans. It's so unbelievable. Like, if you don't really have a lot of emotional IQ, you can't really know what Ollie's really doing. Like, if you don't have a lot of emotional IQ. And he's playing mind games with the fans. Like, when he got asked about top 4, he didn't really want to say, yeah, we need to get that, because it's like he's scared to say it, because if he does, then he knows that if he doesn't get it, he's already put his neck on the chopping board. Do you get what I'm saying? Where man like Klopp and Pep and top managers will say, yeah, we need to get top 4, because that's what they know that that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. But, you know, for me, we should be aiming higher for top 4. We should be aiming for that. If Tottenham, the man who we sacked, The man who we sacked has got Tottenham first in the league. Don't tell me we shouldn't be going for the league. Don't tell me we haven't spent more money than them. Don't tell me we don't have as good of a team or even better team than they do. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. And I know there's variations in certain positions that you'll say, yeah, they're better there than, maybe they have a better, defense than we do potentially, maybe they have a better striker than we do potentially. Do you know what I'm saying? But don't tell me as a team, and look at our team and their team, that we're not levels, if not we're better than them. Because they're definitely not better than us. So, this is what it is. And a lot of Man United fans need to recognise what Oli is, because they're Oli fanboys. They like, someone said it on Twitter today, they like Oli more than the club. Because if they loved the club, they would not want Oli there. But they don't love the club. They are all fanboys. They are, people that are behind Oli are Oli fanboys. I don't care. Because if you want to talk about Martial fanboys, you want to talk about Pogba fanboys and Bruno fanboys, you got to talk about these Oli fanboys, because these Oli fanboys are do or die Oli. They're like, oh, Oli's the man. Oli can do it. I believe in Oli. Back the manager, back the manager, back the manager. Why? Because Fergie said that, bro. See, Fergie, yeah, it's mad. Like, obviously, you got mad love for Fergie, obviously, but like, we can't. His word is not gold, yeah. You can't always back the manager. If you back the manager, we still have David Moyes now. Trust me, it's mad out here. It's mad. It's mad. Anyway, hopefully we'll watch the game. Hopefully it's going to be a good game. And Man United win, ultimately. But, I don't know, I can't call it. Anyone can win. It could be a draw. But if I was a betting man, I'd go both teams to score. I'm Tactical Red. This is Tactical United. And I'm out.